why would you give your most prized possession to a guy that ain't really good for you, but you save it for a guy who is good for you?
Seeing that you aren't making the change. But if I have to say something to you again, you simply don't like me enough.
A guy who has a CEO mindset, who is telling the entire world what to do every day, wants to be told what to do.
Some of you are playing the wrong game. That's why you keep getting caught. So let's talk strategy.
Now, I know I am attractive, but not by male beauty standards. My wife is the one who pursued a relationship with me. Here is me with my wife.
Y'all, let me tell y'all why some women give off their freaky side and more freer side to a guy that probably doesn't deserve to have that, but will give their filtered and reserved side to a guy who probably does deserve the freaky side, who probably deserves to be rewarded with a good knick-knack paddywhack. You know what I'm saying? It's really just because women just be trying to secure the bag. Even though like it's ass backwards math, and it's kind of messed up, because why would you give your most prized possession to a guy that ain't really good for you, but you save it for a guy who is good for you? It is ass backwards. And it's not until you see it from like a man's perspective until you really see how backwards it is. But if you're just looking at it from just a strictly woman's perspective, it does make sense. Now check this out. It's really just all about, again, securing the bag. Like, you want the guy that you want to take you serious, you don't want him to look at you like a 304. And fellas, y'all gotta understand, even though y'all like 304s, y'all don't talk good about 304s. Like, outside of lust and sex, as far as being taken serious, y'all don't talk about 304s in a good light. So a woman that wants to be taken serious, she's gonna reserve that side. She's not gonna show you that side, because she's gonna think that you're gonna judge her, and she's gonna then.
Of course. But you see what she said? You wonder why men have said they're done. Isn't that a reason for a man to be done? You giving it up to him, but not me? Because you think I don't deserve a good time? You think I'm going to take care of you? This is why so many men have turned cold. You want your answer? This is it right here.
Be ineligible to be taken serious. That's why the Pookies and the Ray Rays can get the Netflix and chill, versus the good or the nice guys. They gotta take you out on dates and stuff. It's a reason. Now, again, I get it. It's ass backwards, but it's a thing. So basically, fellas, if you want to see, I understand y'all want a lady in the streets and a freaking thing is, you can't be judging her when she talks freaky or tells you some freaky shit that she did, or maybe want to try or something, like anything along that. You can't come off as judgmental. You can't react like, oh my God. Like, you can't give off no type of judgmental energy, because it's gonna repel her from showing you that side of her. And I know that's what you want, is for her to show you that side. If you a good dude, you want to be rewarded. I get it. But, you know, sometimes y'all be talking yourselves or judging yourselves out of that freaky side. So, yeah, man, just learn how to just be quiet and let her come to you. If you don't come off as judgmental, if she's attracted to you, if she likes you, she'll, you know what I'm saying? She'll come around, but y'all just talk too much. So, yeah, if you want to combat our backwards math, that's what you do.
No. It's gotten to the point where men don't want to combat that. Like, a man knows. Like, I seen a lady said, I have a new rule of making every man wait for 6 dates. She hasn't had one man last till 6 dates yet. Why? Look how expensive a date is nowadays. You can't take them you have to take them to Ruth Chris or something upscale like that. You can't take them to Chili's, Applebee's, things like that, because they're going to see you as cheap. Now, men would last longer. Men would go for dealing with a woman longer if they accepted it. So what's a man to do? Wait, hear me out now. Wait and pay all of that money? Never. Men will never do that. Wait and pay thousands of dollars before they get some. And then when they get it, they get a pity screw. I'm giving you some because you're a nice guy. I'm sure some guys can relate. Many guys have gotten that pity screw. She wasn't really into it. The water wasn't dripping as much as it would with that guy who's not supposed to get it. And men aren't dealing with it.
He ain't lying. Now, before you start the tussle, hear me out, okay? I was having a conversation with a guy that I was talking to. And I just simply told him, I said, hey, I don't think we need to continue engaging with one another because what I desire is not something you are capable of doing. And it may simply be because you don't like me enough to do what it requires to keep me in the situation and be okay with it. And he was like, I do like you. I said, I'm not saying you don't like me. I'm saying you don't like me enough. And that's a difference because if you liked me enough, I would not have to tell you more than one time about something I don't like.
Wow.
And me seeing that you aren't making the change. But if I have to say something to you again, you simply don't like me enough. And that's okay. That don't make you a bad guy. It just means you not the right guy. And I don't know why men can't handle that.
She's right though. I can't lie though. She's right. And the guy should have took it as I don't care, I move on. That's how you have to take things nowadays. Because not liking her enough is probably her wanting money spent. I'm not saying that's the case, but the fact that you didn't state what it is you wanted, it triggers my mind and goes, it had to have been money. It had to have been something that revolves around money. Why? All roads lead to the money woman nowadays. They all want the bag, and it's bad, right? Isn't that bad that I have to think that way? That's the problem.
That are worth over $50 million, which means that if you think asking for a black car being sent to you by just a regular person is
Wow.
like not achievable, you need to raise your standards. I ask them sometimes on the first date, but definitely by the second date, to give me a gift. Now, I'm not going to tell them what to gift me because I want to see how generous they are, but they are not allowed to get me flowers because I already get myself flowers every week. Like, I don't need flowers, please. And I have a cat. You're going to kill her. I have like literally standards and like ways that I conduct myself. So if you, as a man who is worth $50 million, generating millions of dollars.
She said, I get myself flowers. I have a cat. You're going to kill her. Then why do you get yourself flowers? I'm just pointing that out.
A lot of them are worth hundreds of millions of dollars because of their businesses. And they can't do small stuff like that. They can't put a date together, something nice, something generous, like a good conversation, like talk to me about what it is that you are going to do for me, how you're going to woo me, like talk about future plans, get to know me as a person. Like, no. Also, there's like no opening my legs. That's not a thing. It's not on the table. It will never be. And I get everything that I want. They give me everything that I want and beyond. Because at the end of the day, a guy who has a CEO mindset, who is telling the entire world what to do every day, wants to be told what to do. You gotta whip him into shape. Whip him. I'm not here to conform to him. I am not here to please him. He is there to please me. He is there to serve me. He is there to give me.
Take note. Run.
Again, this is a very high, powerful, net worth individual. So, not your average person who's making like less than 150K. And even like between 150 to like 400, it's a similar mindset because they got bills and savings and all of that. Like, you gotta go for the millions, honey. You gotta go for the millions. And never ever sleep with them because what if the next guy's richer that they introduce you to? And like nicer and kinder and more generous and more fun. Keep your options open.
Keep your options open. Wow, she's probably lying about getting spoiled the way she does. But I'll say something. You were right. I researched it. And yes, you can't have cats around a lot of flowers. It was out of hand. It was like uh daffodils, cinnamon, mums, zest, amaryllis, sago palm, oleander, autumn crocus, lilies, pretty much uh, almost every flower. Not everyone. Sure, you can have roses, but yeah, the leaves and the stems, it definitely is bad for cats. So she's right about that. But still, what she's wrong on, yeah, that may have happened one time. I'll tell you what happens with ladies, all right? One guy gives them or does something for them that's extravagant. Like, say she got one rich guy. Now, that's the standard for every man she comes across, which is dead wrong. Your standard with that one rich guy where he sent you black cars and many different things is not the case for many American men. It's hard out there. Why are you making it the standard?
Ladies, I said I was going to do a video about serial daters are addicted to the honeymoon phase. A lot of us have dated men like that. I've dated men like that. So again, I'm pretty sure you've dated men like that because y'all talked about it a lot in the comments when I brought up that part. Most of the time, the reason why men that are addicted to the honeymoon phase, why they keep jumping from woman to woman to woman, I know we get tired of hearing it's not you, it's not about your worth. I get tired of hearing that too sometimes. But it is the truth. It's not necessarily about you, it's about them not wanting to sit within themselves and analyze and go through the motions of their own shortcomings, so they will project onto the next woman so they can feel good about themselves, so they can control the dynamic, so they wouldn't be exposed of their own insecurities. They can feel like the man by sitting here being with a woman. The thing is, the reason why it doesn't work, especially when they get with a good woman, and not just a good woman that says she's a good woman, but she's genuinely a good woman, they tend to self-sabotage those type of women because
So
those type of
sabotage.
women will subconsciously and maybe even consciously point out their flaws. Not to say that they are trying to tear them down, because that's something else. Those are women that are toxic and get a kick of belittling certain men. I'm talking about women that want to see a man grow and see value in that man and don't want nothing from him. Where the value, not only it benefits her and the relationship, but it's to benefit him so he can be a better partner for her. The thing is, when he doesn't want to put in that work, because that requires a lot of work, a lot of self-reflection, a lot of accountability, a lot of pointing out your mistakes and the issues that you cause. But if they don't want to sit here and look within themselves, they're going to look at that as a challenge, and not a challenge in a good way, but in a negative way, even though subconsciously that's what they want. That's what they feel like. That's what they know they need.
No, 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 no. What's happening is this. I gotta say this first off, right? In real life, there's a lot of men getting with a lot of decent women everywhere, right? But it's hard. It's not easy. They're not just like, especially uh, where a man's located, that has a lot to play in it. So if you're a man and you're located somewhere in the country, you're gonna have a hard time finding a lady. If you're located in a city, you're gonna have a hard time with modern woman. But you never know. And the guys got tired of trying to figure it out. But still, all in all, when you look at the scope of the dating market, right? And you look at women and men, do you think there's more men trying to do that for ladies, or more ladies trying to do that for men? I think it's more men trying to do that for ladies, right? You can tell how many women are looking for men now. It's dire out there. The men aren't trying to jump from relationship to relationship. You have the Chads and Tyrones that are. And men say this until we're blue in the throat and in the face. And you seem to not recognize that. You ladies aren't listening. You aren't. You just think you're the good person because you, the good ladies, are choosing the wrong guy and trying to make him better. That's what she's explaining. They're choosing a guy that's a degenerate and trying to change him. A lot of times that's what's going on. And that guy doesn't want to change. Seriously, I would have loved to have one of you ladies that were actually good come into my life back in the day with the things I had going on. I probably wouldn't have left to come out here to the Philippines. Honest truth. That's the truth. But what happened? I couldn't find that. But let me let her talk more.
They will sit here and sabotage you for a superficial woman. Usually, a woman that aesthetically, both of y'all are attractive, but aesthetically, y'all are different. You may be a woman where you like to get cute, you sexy, whatever. You might, whatever like this. But then he'll end up with a woman that's almost the opposite of what says he wants in a girlfriend or a wife. He may say he wants let's say he said he wants a modest woman, but then he'll turn around and get with a city girl type of chick. You know what I'm saying? Those are women that's a distraction to get them away from their again own shortcomings. These women are not going to sit here and tell them that, oh yeah, you should value yourself. And if they do, it's only to benefit them, to pretty much stroke that man's ego. And a lot of women like that have a lot of game and experience on doing it. So they gravitate towards those women because they kind of are similar in the same when it comes to their morals and characteristics. However, those women on the surface, they get everything. You might think, well, damn, I done poured myself into this man and he ain't do half he did for her that he did for me that he's doing for her.
Well, a lot of those ladies run psychological games. So once again I'll say it. I'm not saying there's not good women out there. But if a man's dealing with a woman and she's playing mind games and he's not hip to those mind games, which a lot of men aren't, you'd be surprised. Because for a man to be hipped, he would have to be watching alpha male strategies every single video. Some men are, but a lot of men aren't.
But it's not because he like her that much. He may like her because she's convenient. She makes him feel good for the moment, but she's not on a deeper level long term unless he gets himself caught up being a dumbass and get her pregnant. Because like I said before, you don't know a person until you get them pregnant, married, and or living with them. That's a video that I already posted. I forgot what was I talking about. You're gonna have to find it. But no, I think it was like a day or two ago. But anyway, I just can't think of the name right now. But those relationships don't work out and they are replaceable because any man, hell, even a woman, but any man can find another woman that's easy and can stroke their ego. But they can't find another genuine woman like that. That's why they keep those women at arm's length, unfortunately. But for the women that's superficial, they can replace them on the surface. Those relationships do tend to last because it's comfortable and it's familiar and they don't again have to work. She is not going to sit here and say, oh well, why are you not doing this, why are you not doing that? As long as she is benefiting from it, whether it's him spending money, stroking her own ego, everything is good. But the moment that he wants that genuine connection that's not your surface level, he gonna replace her.
Now, I understand what she's saying, but she's missing the whole point. But as I said, there's more on the men's side than the woman's side. Men are leaving the country for a reason.
I promise you that is not the case. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. I am 5'8". This is my hairline. I was a broke college student when I met my wife, and then I went on to become a teacher first. Not exactly rolling in it. Now, I know I am attractive, but not by male beauty standards. That's the key phrase there. And despite all of those things, my wife is the one who pursued a relationship with me. Here is me with my wife.
I gotta pause that really quickly. Look at my man with the suit on. Doesn't he look dapper? And he probably has confidence. I gotta tell you, my man, a lot of guys don't have the confidence. They don't. Their confidence was broken. Also, you have to understand your wife, I hate to say it, but it's real, is a white woman. She didn't grow up with the mindset of where we're from. And also, location is everything. I said it earlier. It depends on where she lives, what she sees, how she thinks. And most women have adopted feminism.
Married up, as you can see. The idea that you have to be tall enough, rich enough, good looking enough, whatever it may be, is a marketing ploy. Because if you can't find a market for your product, you create one. So if you perpetuate the message enough that the average man will never be enough for the average woman, that creates opportunity. And who fills that opportunity? The scam artists selling.
You know, the wild thing, we have video after video. Like, literally, next week, I can react to all of the videos that have been made of what women are saying, and I'll probably be reacting for another 2 years on. It doesn't make sense. He's not paying attention. You're married, bro. Congratulations, by the way. But he's not paying attention. He doesn't understand the regular man's plight because most likely he's not in a regular man's shoes.
So if you're not
Watch
a virgin, keep scrolling. Are you still here? If you're not a virgin, keep scrolling. Okay. Now that we're all virgins here, specifically virgins with the mind of Christ, because if you don't have the mind of Christ, you're not going to understand what I'm saying. So now that we're all virgins here, let's talk about how to navigate being with someone who has a sexual past.
So now, this lady is saying a woman, a virgin with the mind of Christ. There's a lot of guys, there's a lot of you who wouldn't be able to handle that. I'm being honest. But that's what men need. But let me let her talk.
So with this said, I don't mean that you're just casually dating this person. I mean, this is someone that has been courting you and you have received confirmation from God that this is your spouse. We're talking about how to navigate this emotionally, okay? Because, child, it's not easy. It's not easy to come to terms with the fact that you saved yourself your entire life and the person that God has ordained for you did not. I am an example of that. I've been asked this question before, like in my other videos about remaining a virgin and lots of other videos I've made. People have asked me this question, like, am I okay with XYZ? Or how did I become okay with XYZ? And I just wasn't ready to answer it. But now that I've processed my feelings, have prayed, have spoken, have communicated, I can come to you guys and give you some advice. So to someone who isn't a virgin, they're not going to understand this, but it literally feels like your partner cheated on you beforehand. When you're a virgin, you waited your entire life and they didn't. That's literally what it feels like. It is the most painful, excruciating feeling ever. Like, or at least it was until I gave it to God. I literally remember screaming, crying in my car, upset that this man had sex before me. When Jesus died on the cross for us, he erased all of our sins. We have been redeemed. Like, so you have to pray that God helps you to see him from the eyes of God. That's essentially was my prayer. And through.
All right, now I got to stop it right there, but I just wanted to show something, right? This is what men are leaving, right? Because either Because these ladies like this are almost impossible to come across in the West. This is why men go overseas. They're looking to find ladies who haven't had as much bodies. I repeat, some even not even had 8 or 9 guys. That's a lot. I'll tell you, I was with my wife's family and we were talking and they had a game. It was how many bodies you've had. I was at the back of the line. Everybody else was to the front of the line. Why is that? Because the first person they got with were their husbands and their wives. The men too. I felt the way. I'm standing in the back of the line and I was like, I didn't feel dirty because of where I'm from. Coming from where I'm from, that's gonna happen. But she most likely can come from where I'm from. Congrats to you, sister. You did your thing. I just use you as an example. I'm not talking about your video in case she sees this, right? I'm not really reacting to you. I'm making a point. And I made it, right? That's how guys see things. And also, too, as far as your man, I do have to give her some advice. If your man has been with other ladies, they're not as tainted as when ladies do it. I just have to let you know that because men, they don't cling to them as much. Like a man can do it and move on and not care. So I do have to say that. So if you're watching this, don't worry. Your man is your man, and you went to God for it. So don't take my advice. Take God's. And I'm sure you don't know this, but now you do. So I'm letting you know that. But still, men feel they have to leave. I said it before and I said it again because this is the way.
3, 4, 5 guys without getting caught at the same time. Remember that my advice is bad advice and bad advice. I know they give good advice, not only bad advice that they give. So if you know you're a good girl, please scroll past. You're not going to like this video. Some of you are playing the wrong game. That's why you keep getting caught. So let's talk strategy. Number one, code names are your friend. Do not save their real name on your phone. You save one as Bayo, you save the other one as Tunde Baby. You're setting yourself up for failure. Use code names like Bayo, electrician, Tunde, DSTV guy, Denrele, Uber guy. If by mistake you go to your man's place and one of them is calling you and your man is like, who's that? Why is he calling you? Tell him he's one annoying service guy. Is this annoying Uber guy? Every time he'll be calling me asking me, madam, you don't want to go somewhere? Madam, you don't tell where you book me. Oh, let me even do and block himself. Or you can say, is that annoying electrician? You know that electrician I told you about, even if you've never told him about the electrician. I said, babe, remember I told you about one annoying electrician man that we have in our compound that used to come and fix some stuff for us. He's always calling me, he's always stressing me. Let me even block himself, I beg. Number two, you want to rotate your stories so you do not mix them up. Men, they hate feeling like they are not special. So when you're dating multiple guys, you need to keep your lies uniform. So you cannot be telling different lies. Everything you're saying, all of your lies, they have to be one and the same. If you tell Bayo your mom is a teacher, make sure you're telling Chinedu the same thing. If you tell Sunday you are traveling, make sure you tell Femi the same thing. Keep your excuse consistent, keep your lies consistent so that you don't get in the crossfire of your own gist. One very important thing, you want to love all of them the same. Don't say, oh, this one is my main, this one is my side. A guy knows when you're treating him bad. He knows when he's not the main man. So if you're doing him, he calls you, you don't respond, like you just treat him anyhow, he's going to have the vibe that you have another man, and you don't want him to have that kind of feeling at all. You don't want him to have that kind of vibe. If you have 5 men, when you wake up in the morning, good morning, baby, your princess is awake, send that the same message to the 5 of them. And don't be using names. Don't say, hey, Tunde. No, hey, babe. That hey, babe is what you're using for everybody. The same thing you're using for one, that is what you're using for all of them. If there's one that you know that sends you money a lot, like you know that, yes, this one are the real Odogo, you can pay your real Odogo more attention, but do not do the other ones like shishi. Do not do them like, whatever. You pick their call when you want. You answer them when you want. They don't want to feel like that. When you do that, they will start having in the back of their mind that you have another man and you don't want to give them any opportunity to even sniff. Another mistake that you girls make, you are available for all of them at the same time. It cannot work like that. You need to schedule your time. Bayo gets Mondays and Thursdays. Tunde gets Wednesday and Saturday. And Chinedu gets Friday afternoon because he has not started spending enough money on you. The other days, you just start, you bring up one main story of why you're busy. You can say, oh, I've been so busy with work, or I've been so busy with business, I've been so busy with school. Like, just say something like, oh, this project is killing me, this thing is killing me. Like, just bring a very good excuse of why you've been so busy, why you cannot really talk to them a lot on those days. It's not like you're not chatting with them. You're still chatting with them every day. But I'm talking about days that you dedicate to talk to them on phone, to visit them. And if any of them ask you for a spontaneous meet, spontaneous visit, always say no. Here are some excuses you can use for spontaneous. Oh, babe, come and see me. Oh my God, babe, my period just started. It's not even about the period. Like, I'm not feeling myself. I just feel so horrible. I feel so terrible. I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to stay at home and just lay down. Babe, my friend, she's going through a lot.
This right here, ladies that do this, it's sorcery, right? It's sorcery. Everything she's naming, doesn't it sound like it'll work? Because if you're a guy and you feel like you love her, you're not going to check. You see ladies do this all the time when they do the phone challenge. And this is to the guy, to the white guy. I'm sorry, I gotta be real. There's ladies out there doing this. Congrats on your wife, bro. She's not like that. And that's not every situation. But what happens when it happens to someone? Fear. It lingers. And you're right, because fear is false evidence appearing real. But when something real happens, it sticks in your mind. You get trauma. A lot of men are traumatized out here. But yeah, guys, other than that, thank you for watching. Peace out. See you next video. And I want to let you guys know, if you need help with working online to get yourself out of the matrix, I can definitely help you out with that. That's why right now I want to help as many guys as possible. That's why I dropped my package to under $125 to make sure I help so many of you get out of the West. And I got to say this really quickly, because I do. With getting out, like a lot of you guys, you may be paying taxes. I said it in one of my last videos. If you have an S Corp and you're under the FEIE when you're outside of the States, you actually won't have to pay taxes if you pay yourself a salary. You fall under the income exclusion. Did you know the income exclusion for foreigners is $126,000? It's being raised to $130,000. So if you're making under that, well, most likely you will. You fall under that income exclusion. If you're making over that and you have an S corp, you'll be fine because you're gonna write off everything anyway. I have to let guys know about this because this is what's going to set you free. But yeah, guys, thank y'all for watching. Peace out. See you next video.